Today I'm going to show you how to take a Foursquare and transfer it onto lined paper. But I'm going to show you how to transfer it using paragraphs. So I'm going to do a few with you, and then I'm going to have you try some on your own. First thing you're going to need, of course, is your actual practice Foursquare. This has been filled out for you. You don't have to do a thing to it. We're simply using it for the purposes of practicing getting it from the Foursquare to the lined sheet of paper. You're going to need a pencil, perhaps two. And I also want you to go ahead and have a highlighter or some kind of coloring tool at your disposal too, because that's going to come in a little bit later on. I'm going to show you what to do with that a little bit later. But for right now, let me move these things to the side, my extra pencil to the side as well. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do is make certain that you indent properly. Now, this is going to be your very first paragraph. And each phrase that's here in each sentence in one way, shape, or form will end up being its own sentence. So this is going to be a 4-sentence introduction right here. So let's do the indentation first. A good way to know how to indent it would be to actually take your thumb and kind of line up the margin with your beginning of your thumbnail and the end of your nail like so, and then start writing. So this cue I'm going to put up here. Why is summer my favorite season? All right, so that is done. Check mark, yay, we're on our way. Now we have a phrase. Can't leave them as phrases, but to make them into sentences. So this says very warm, comma, so lots of activities. I have to make that into a complete sentence. So I would simply write, summer is, and notice how I brought this word all the way over here to the margin. I've already indented once, so I'm good to go. Everything else I'm going to write that's part of this paragraph right here is going to end up smack dab on this other side where the margin is. So you be careful with that when you do it on your own paper. Summer is very warm, comma, so you can do lots of activities. Period. Rocking and rolling now. All right, so that's done. Next one, no school. Can't leave it like that. I have to make it into a complete sentence. So I might write, there isn't any school during, that looks bad. Erase. Yes, teachers make mistakes as well as students during the summer. Period. Boom, done. Almost done with the intro. See how quickly this is going? And of course, we have our last reason why the summer is my favorite season of my birthday. And to make that into a complete sentence, let's just write my birthday is during the summer. Period. Boom. Done. Awesome. All right, so keep it rolling. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and fold this section back. And now I have access to the other part of the graphic organizer. And of course, each one of these sections are going to become its own paragraph. And each paragraph will have to be indented as this very first one right here was. Okay, so let's do this next paragraph right here. First body paragraph, second paragraph in the actual set. Make sure you skip this first line. We want each paragraph to have its own little breathing room. They don't like kind of being all crowded up. Spread it out a little bit. Give a little space. Let's go ahead and indent again. Just going to check myself with my thumb. Remember the thumbnail to this right here. More than enough room should be. And I'm going to take this and make it into a complete sentence. I'm just going to kind of borrow what I had up here. And I'm just going to write summer is very warm, comma, so you can do lots of activities. Period. Now, we're going to get a little bit fancy here. And this is where the highlighter is going to come into play here in a second, because once you've listed your actual answer, like your A, as you're responding to the different parts of your essay, when you go into your citing of evidence or your citing of examples, you want to use what we call transitional words and phrases. Let me just simply show you what they look like. I can show you better than I can actually explain them to you. They do serve a good purpose. They help your writing flow. They help your writing flow. That's why we actually use them. So where it says here, lots of time outdoors, that's a phrase going to make into a sentence, but I'm going to go ahead and make it fancy, And I'm going to go ahead and write down, for example, comma, you get to spend lots of time outdoors, period. Take your highlighter or your coloring tool and just go ahead and underline or highlight that transitional word or phrase. Okay, just put it right there. I'm going to use another one for my second example right here. Also, comma, you can ride bikes, comma, sailboats, comma, and take walks, period. Don't forget that period. Take a moment, take your highlighter or coloring tool, and just go ahead and spotlight that transitional word or phrase. Let's see, we have another one right here, lots of time at the beach. And since I already used two transitional words or phrases right here, I'm not going to overdo it. There's such a thing as called overkill. Just simply make this last detailed piece of evidence into a complete sentence. So people can spend, you know what? I'm getting kind of sloppy with that. Let me make sure I put this word all the way over here at the margin so I have a nice crisp paragraph. All right, so people can spend lots of time at the beach, period. Now, the only thing left to add would be the E, explain, where you kind of connect your answer and evidence or kind of go a little bit deeper with it. So the explain was, this shows that the warm weather can be good for physical fitness. I'm just going to, show that connection right there. Add that. Shows that the warm weather can be good for physical fitness, period. Lovely. Now, I do want to go ahead and stop for a moment, just pause and just look at the radiance of what has been written thus far. Note the indentions, beautiful. Note we have the introduction taken care of. 4 sentences, we had phrases, now we have sentences. Ta-da! We have the second, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and check these off just because I'm rocking and rolling like this. It gives me a sense of accomplishment. Anyway, all of these phrases have been compiled into an actual paragraph right here. Note the indentation. Took a moment to go ahead and highlight the transitional words and phrases to kind of like help the writing flow. And of course, we have our explain here at the very end, that kind of concluding sentence that connects the actual examples or evidence to your answer or reason. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next portion of the Foursquare, which is this portion right here. We have no school, evidence, relax my brain, school year equals challenges, do fun activities. This shows that summer is a good time to renew your mind and spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer these or change them into actual sentences, complete ones, except for the E, the last one, because that's already a complete sentence. I'm going to tack that on, and I'm also going to throw in some transitional words and phrases too. So watch what I do and go ahead and copy me. All right, take note how everything has been accounted for. Everything has been made into a complete sentence. I included the explain. Everything's looking great. Let me stop right here again. Oh, here goes the highlighter. Note once again how the indentions are beautifully lined up. Note also how there's a space in between each paragraph. Take note, because what I'm going to have you do on your own, be brave, is I'm going to have you go ahead and paragraph this last section right here for A3. Take all the phrases, make them into sentences. Don't forget your explain. And then do your final concluding paragraph as well. Don't forget to skip spaces in between each one. Please do not forget to indent. And of course, when you are finished, pat yourself on the back. You have just paragraphed your first essay. So do well, take your time, look back at the examples that were given for you or that we did together, and do not forget to add in a transitional word or phrase here and there. You have examples to pull from, don't get too stressed out about it, and just kind of throw them in there when you get to your C section. Just about two, don't do it for each one of them. Don't like stress yourself out, just throw them in there every now and then. All right, that's about it. Take care and happy trails. I am so proud of myself. Look at this. Awesome.